This is a part one of tarmacking, based on my experience, based on my friends' experience, based on people I know, what they did to land their first jobs in Dubai. So this is not going to cover people who are already. I will make a part 2 video to cover people who already have jobs here and what you can do to land a better paying job, or maybe leave that first job that the agent brought you in order to get a better paying job, to upskill. So we will do that on the part 2 for people who already have a job here and they want to upskill into a better paying job, because at least you don't get to how to leave the first jobs, and we are not talking about how to move into the second job. Okay, so this guy mentioned ATS. So I came to learn. Before, I used to just drop my CVs around, but then I talked to somebody from Nairobi, called me, and they told me your CV, they were trying to sell me a service, and they mentioned that your CV is not ATS approved, meaning that these recruiters or these job sites, they are receiving high volumes of applications, and they have to use some systems or some sort of softwares to screen these CVs. So there is some things that you can have on your CV that will make you not pass through the ATS software systems. So these systems, they do the easy job of checking all these applications, and then they will search for, if I'm a recruiter, I'm an employer, I'm looking for a specific job title, I'm looking for specific skills, I'm looking for a specific number of experience, the system will help me to get the short list of that. So if the system is not able to read through your CV and pull out that information, you will end up not on the short listing. Okay, so what you need, some things that I checked, and they told me that if you put them on your CV, it will not pass through the ATS system. Is, for example, if you're making your CV through Canva, and you know how you usually choose some icons, instead of saying yes, it choose some like ticks and all those like decorations and all those things. And then if it's dividing your information into columns, I'm checking it because I made some notes here. If it's dividing your information into columns, putting things here, and then again, if it's using some photos, some logos, infographics, tables, and all those might not pass through the ATS system, and your CV might not go through. Okay, and then again, if you're applying in some systems, if you're not using a PDF or a Word document, it might also not pass, because some people usually have the PDF, and because they don't want to reproduce it again in PDF, they're just taking the short form of taking a screenshot and sending. No, that one will not pass. Also, if it's in photo form, like PNG, that one also sometimes it will not pass. So make sure your CV is in PDF form or in Word form, so that it's able to pass through these systems. Okay, so also, if you want to check, you can make use of AI to check. You can put it on ChatGPT and check if my CV is ATS approved. And then online also, you can Google for ATS simulators, which are free, and you can check you can put your CV there, and it will check if your the CV is ATS approved, and if it will be able to pass through those systems. Okay, so you're already done with that. You have a perfect CV. You already checked all those, and you're sure your CV is on the right side. So the next thing you do is you go to these job sites. So there's LinkedIn, there's Naukri Gulf, there's Byte, there is Gulf Talent, there is Indeed, and many other more. But these are just the most popular ones, where most of the recruiters, if I'm a recruiter, I want to also go where they will find the most and volume of employers and the systems that are filtering and working. So these ones are the ones who are established, but there is many others. So if you're going there on those apps, make sure you're applying with an ATS approved CV. Okay, so those are the first steps. Those are the main things that you will do. Okay, you have arrived in Dubai, you're new, you're just looking around. Make sure you have your CV in all of these, or maybe you have the apps and you're checking every day. Don't just leave the app there, put the CV and leave. You need to log in there every day to check what specific jobs there is and keep on applying. And then an advantage that you have when you're a first timer in Dubai, you're just here looking for a job, is that you're an immediate joiner. The people who already have jobs, they don't have that advantage, because if you're currently in a job, you need to give a notice to leave that job to join another job. So usually most of the companies, they want immediate joiners. They want to hire quickly because they don't have, most of them don't have the luxury of time to wait for you to give a notice of 30 days, 45 days, others 90 days in order to join their company, unless they really need you. That's when they are able to wait for you. But most of the time they want people who they will recruit very quickly. Yeah. So you already made your CV, you're applying there. You cannot just sit and wait for feedback. And also you don't have the luxury of time because you're new in Dubai. Maybe you have 2 months visa, so time is not on your side. So you will not apply and sit, because most of these people, they will reach your CV 3 months later, 2 weeks later. It's whatever number of time. So you need to be proactive at this point. Now that you're already on those sites, you're done there. So now you need to be proactive. Now, if you're moving around, instead of staying indoors, you're moving around, you're looking in business centers, in malls and everywhere. If you see any place that says coming soon, maybe on their Instagram they're advertising, you will see some ads, they're advertising some businesses opening. That is the time now you will go and figure out, how are they hiring, who is behind this business, who are the decision makers behind this business. The best place to find these people usually is on LinkedIn. So let's say there is a Lona Spa coming out. I will have to speak about it on social media. I will have to put it on my LinkedIn. If I have hired a hiring manager, the manager has already listed themselves as they work at Lona Spa. So if I go there on LinkedIn and I'm searching, I will definitely and check the people who are working there and associated with that company. You will find the people and you will try and check who is the decision maker. If you message the wrong person, ask them, who can I message for a job position in this? Don't just throw your CV. You make a conversation. Ask them. Those are things I actually did. There was a job that I got here in Dubai, and how I got it is that I was targeting a specific role. At that time, I was into so much of fitness and yoga and all. So I really wanted to work in a yoga studio to be able to learn whatever it is that they do there, or maybe even get some certification or training while I work there. So the best way was to work there. So what I did, I checked in the area that I was here. I checked for all the yoga studios, and I personally went and found who owns each studio, and I messaged them. Guess what? I got invites on 2. But the thing is, I did not go to the second one. But because when I found, what I did is that I went and found who owns these studios. I even found them on their Instagram, and I messaged them, and they personally invited me to go for an interview or a test testing, 1 week testing. So when I went to the first studio, they hired me immediately because they really needed somebody, because the lady who was there was pregnant, so she had to leave. So I took over. I did not manage to go to the second studio to go to see what was happening there. Yeah, and I managed to work there for 1 year, or I worked there for a year. So that's how I landed that job. So this is why I'm saying, after you already put your CV out there, you need to be now proactive and go to the ground. What are you targeting? You need to have a target. You cannot just target the whole thing. You're a nail tech. Get to know which spas are around, which nail salons, which hair salons, where are they? In everywhere, even in the tiniest estate, you can know there is no business in Dubai that is not online. They do not have an Instagram page. Everybody has an Instagram. Everybody now has a TikTok. They have Facebook. They are on LinkedIn. They are on all businesses are online. So you need to go there and do the stalking until you find who owns this business. Because sometimes if you go to the salon, you will find the receptionist there who does not care. She does not even see any potential job there. Maybe she's wondering, why are you looking for a job? Don't you see I'm working here? So you need to find the owner who owns that shop. Message them, talk to them. Don't just go to the shop in the salon, in the spa, and try to talk to the people there. They will not help you. Maybe you'll even find some Kenyans. I have seen some people saying the Kenyans that don't want to bring you to where they work. Cafes, hotels. There is a new cafe that has just came up. You can find the owner who owns it. Maybe you go there. You can even hang around there and see who looks like the decision maker there and talk to them. There, you can need to find out how does McDonald's hire? How does Starbucks hire the people? How does Dunkin' Donuts do the hiring? Burger King, Pizza Express. How do they do the hirings? These information you can get from asking people, from checking online, from AI, even from LinkedIn. Just find the information, whatever it is. I'm sure if you're looking for some gossip online, usually you are able to find it. So these are things that you can actually find it. So be proactive. Find the decision makers on all the companies that you're trying to get into. Try and speak to them, not just throw your CV. Start a conversation, say what you're looking into, what you can do, your skills, your experience, what you can help the company in. Like when I was going to the yoga studio, I said I'm very passionate about yoga. I'm practicing yoga personally, and I would like to be in this environment and all those bullshit. You need to say all those things. Whatever will get you that job, you need to do it. That is the point where that is how you land your first job in Dubai, by being proactive. Online takes longer. Also, one last point is, if you find, let's say you're a nail tech and you went to a spa, and you can tell them, I can do a trial for 1 week so that they can see your work. Yeah, they will give you a trial. You can go to a restaurant that is starting out, tell them, I want to do a trial for 1 week. They will allow you. They are looking for even fast hiring and free labor also. They will give you the chance. I don't think the chances of going to a nail spa and getting a chance to do a trial for 1 week, they're usually short-staffed. They will take you. They will give you the time to do a trial. You just need to ask nicely and ask the right person. Don't ask the people who work there. Find out who runs this business and ask them who owns this business. So that one is up to you to do your stalking until you find who is a decision maker in that business. But one important thing is, do not waste your visit visa doing trials for people, because people will use you. You have your 2 months visa, 3 months visa, and then you tell them to do the trial thing. Yes, they will be paying you, but the more you're staying there, they are not doing your visa. They're not telling you whether they will take you or they will not. So you're wasting your time with your visa for the time that you'll have been taking other jobs. And then in the end, there's so many people, they will tell you, who have been in Dubai. They came here, they started working somewhere. Well, they were told that they will get the visa done, but it was not done. So they kept on staying there. The visa ran out, and then at the end of the 2 months visa, they had to renew their own visa under their own budget to continue working there. So they're just using your labor. Yes, they will pay you. Yes, I know you're receiving money, so you don't feel like you're being used, but they're using your visa, which is very expensive. So if you pay me 2,000 and I need 2,000 to renew my visa every 2 months, it does not make sense. So if you're going to be very staunch. Tell them, I can do a trial for 5 days. I can come here for 5 days. And you can pay me this amount of money. You agree, because you cannot do trial for free, because you need to travel and eat and all those. Yeah, they will take you, and then you will do the trial. If after 1 week you need to ask them, please give me the decision, do you I feel like this is a good environment, you need to say positive things. I feel like this is a place that I will learn. My skills are applicable here. In the past 5 days I have done this and this and this and this, and I would like for you people to officially hire me. If not, if there's no vacancy for that, then I would like to proceed and look for somewhere else. Do not waste your visa for more than 1 week doing trials for people, because people are doing trials for 3 months, wasting their visa, which they paid for with their own money, because you're not supposed to work for anyone without the employment visa. So they need to start processing your employment visa immediately they have officially hired you and you have signed the contract. Yeah, so that is one thing that has helped. Because on my first job, I went there and they told me, okay, let's do the trial. Actually, I did that mistake of doing my trial for the whole 3 months, but it's because I found the Kenyan there and I trusted them, so I felt comfortable. So even after 3 months, when my visa ran out, they actually did my ID and they did my employment visa. But you can imagine if I stayed there for 3 months and then they decided that they do not want me anymore, I would have been out there, no job and no visa, which I already used while working for these people. Yes, they might have been paying me, but all the money that they paid me, I will have to use it again to extend my visa to continue tamaking. So that's something I wanted to add on this video. So part 2, we'll talk about how to upskill in order to leave your first job that's paying peanuts, because at this point you're just taking any job so they can do your visa, to getting paid at least something decent that will help you survive in this expensive city.